Kamala's campaign, again, no interviews, no gaggles, no press conferences at all. And apparently after the price gauging, as she calls it, or price gouging speech, she's now backing off that. But they did announce, New York Times, I guess we'll get more of the details. They want to raise the corporate rate. They want to raise $5 trillion in new taxes. And I'll go into the specifics later. The corporate tax, 21 to 28, quadruple the tax on stock buybacks, double the global minimum tax from 10 to 20%. That would take away America's competitiveness, raise the top income tax rate, raise the corporate minimum tax from 15 to 21, raise the capital gains tax. Get this, capital gains, 24 to 43.5%, and the first ever tax on unrealized capital gains at 25%. Now, that would make America the least attractive investment country in the entire world. It would be a destruction of our capitalist system. Are they serious about this? Because I can't believe they put it in writing.
Well, look, I was surprised. I thought the Harris strategy was to be all personality, no policy, try to get through the election without admitting how radical they were. That speech last week in Raleigh, where she outlined her economic plan, that was crazy. I mean, that was so far to the left of Bernie Sanders that, Gorbachev in Russia would have thought it was a radical speech. And let me just say to our audience, you need to understand, a 25% increase in unrealized capital gains means, theoretically at least, if your house goes up in price, in value, the government can step in and say, give me the money. If you don't have the money, the government can step in and say, give me the house. I mean, this would be the most crazy tax structure we have ever seen. It makes Venezuela look normal. It makes Russia look normal. And I really wonder, I'm going to write about this in the near future, who was sitting in the room? I mean, how did they unless they were really doing a lot of drugs, how did they come up with this? Because it is so crazy. It's so unsustainable. No serious adult could have come up with this program.
Well, maybe it's incrementalism of what she really wants, which is what she co-sponsored. The Green New Deal, $93 trillion, cradle to grave, womb to the tomb. Medicare for all, no private health insurance. Again, the media, state-run media mob has ignored all of this. And maybe this is their first step, no?
Well, look, I don't care what the New York Times and the Washington Post covers. If you threaten people with a 25% tax on any gain, does it count for furniture? Does it count for your car? Does it count for your house, your family farm? I mean, and that's annually. So, first of all, how are they going to detect it? Are you going to fill out a form? Is every American in the country going to fill out a form? Are they going to reach in then and say, give me the money, or you're going to seize your property? I mean, this is truly, every once in a while, the mask comes off and you realize you're dealing with somebody who's crazy. And of course, you have with Walz the most radical governor in the country, far to the left of Bernie Sanders.
Well,
and you have with Harris a San Francisco radical. And now we're beginning to see what that really means.